Jacques Nguyen and I, Tom Newhouse, left our hometown, Côte in southern France, to visit the three Project Hope and Fairness cocoa cooperatives on the 27th of September 2024. Jacques runs the local radio station in Côte and has been helping Tom with communications issues. The purpose of this trip was to visit the three villages and their associated cooperatives that are listed on the screen. We established these three villages and their cooperatives as chocolate producers in 2019. That was DEPA. 2021, that was Pezoin. And 2023, that was ONG ASCAF. We arrived Friday, September 27th. We went to the Parc des Expositions on Saturday, September 28th, and the park is located near the airport. The event is called JNCC, or Journée Nationale du Cacao et du Chocolat, that is, National Day for Cocoa and Chocolate. The sign that you see says, "Come taste the best chocolate." Theme, no cocoa producers, no cacao. We rented a booth in the expositions hall. There were maybe 50 booths. It was quite a sizable event, and we were very happy to be able to do this. So you can see my back and my old T-shirt saying "Helping African Cocoa Farmers." And then next to me is Roger's wife, who helped set up the booth. And that's Projet Espoir et Équité, which is the French version of Project Hope and Fairness. And then in the back, with his something in his left hand, is Jean Joël, who is our Ivorian assistant who works for us full time in Côte d'Ivoire, in Ivory Coast. And he put together that very nice poster that he's standing in front of. This is Servando's salesperson who is holding two of the bars that Servando makes. Servando is the president of SCAP, Société Coopérative Agricole de Pezoin, that is a cooperative in Pezoin that we put together in 2021. This is the sales staff for Socoplan. This is the oldest of our three cooperatives. Socoplan means Société Coopérative des Planteurs, or cooperative for cocoa growers. And you can see on the table there's bags of cocoa powder, there's cocoa butter, and there's a bunch of chocolate bars. This is the table of our youngest cooperative, ONG ASCAF, which is the cooperative that Roger is in charge of. And you can see on their table a calabash gourd filled with cocoa butter. And to the right of that is the cooperative's certificate showing that they can sell in stores. It's a certificat de salubrité, a health certificate. And then there's a bunch of bars stacked up on the table. Everybody sold out during the event, so it was quite successful. Sunday morning, we drove to Ndusi, which is the town where Roger has his cooperative called ONG ASCAF. Ndouci is 90 minutes to the northwest of Abidjan. We visited the chocolate factory in Ndouci that Peggy and I had established back in June of 2023 with Roger's help and others. In this picture, Roger, the manager, points to a graphic illustrating how to temper chocolate. We then walked into the chocolate making room. On the left, you can see the mélangeur that makes up to 100 pounds of chocolate at a time. That afternoon, we visited Abévé, a village located about 45 minutes away from Ndouci, where Roger has made some good contacts. While we were there, we showed the farmers the difference between flat beans and properly developed beans. The flat beans are on the left and the properly developed beans are on the right. Flat beans come from pods that have not been properly ripened, and therefore they cannot survive the cut test because the blade won't cut them, and also they taste rather bitter, so they do not make good chocolate. We showed them how to do the cut test. We brought with us a guillotine, which allows you to put 50 beans, line them up in holes, and then you close the thing, and then you push the blade, and it cuts all the beans in half. It's called a guillotine, and you can then see, you can count up the properly fermented beans and the improperly fermented beans to get a measure of the quality of beans that you are going to be buying. So here are the beans cut in half. So this is called the cut test. And from this, if you have 50 beans, then you just double that to get the percentage. And you can see, for example, on the extreme right on the first row, and then in the middle on the first row, you'll see two purple beans. These are under fermented, and they will yield a bitter tasting chocolate. Also, they make a cocoa powder that curdles the milk. The brown beans are the ones that look ugly, but those are the good ones. Those are the ones that are properly fermented and produce a quality chocolate. So the trick is to get the farmers to sell you beans that have been properly fermented, so you will have a good tasting chocolate and a cocoa powder that does not curdle the milk. The next day, Monday, we visited SCEB, which stands for Société Coopérative de Bandana, and it's a cooperative that produces organic beans. Half of their production is sold to Etikable, a world-renowned international cooperative that buys from 27 different countries. This is SCEB's quality laboratory, and in this laboratory you can make 2 to 3 pound batches of chocolate. So you can take a chocolate, and assuming that it's passed the cut test, and there's no point in even trying until they pass the cut test, and then you can roast the beans, crack the beans, and make the chocolate and get a sense of how that batch is going to taste. SCEB is working on developing fermentation and drying centers in order to ensure quality beans. In this, we see a tunnel dryer And the beans dry in a short amount of time despite rainy conditions, so it's perfect for a tropical country. We are planning on developing such a center and building such a a tunnel dryer. So we took our leave of SCEB, which stands for Société Coopérative Équitable de Bondamas. All their beans are fair trade and organic, and you can see the sign behind it. We're looking forward to doing business with them because they're a very well-run organization. On Wednesday, we drove to Pezwan, which is about 6 hours from Ndusi. Here we are at the welcoming ceremony, and a live chicken is being passed around my waist. This is the production facility of Pezwan. Servando, who is the president of SCAP, or Société Coopérative de Pezwan, runs this. He makes very good quality bars. He really knows how to temper, and he buys his chocolate from ONG ASCAF from Roger. Outside the facility, we visited 3 wells. There are 3 wells in the village with 2,000 people living there, but only one well is actually functioning. It has an electric pump. That's this one right here. And as you can see, the wire comes right out and it just is lying on the ground. People pay to use it. The second well requires bending over the hole and dropping a bucket to the bottom. It's very dangerous. You can fall down there. Children can fall in it. The third well requires replacing the electric pump. It is not functioning at all. We are hoping to find an organization that will help pay to fix at least this well, the one out of the 3, and embed the wire and repair the concrete and make it look good. In order for Servando to get his health certificate, he needs to fix at least one of these wells. On Friday, we drove to Depa, which is located only a couple miles outside of Pezwan. Depa is the original cooperative that we established in 2019. It sells between 5,000 and 7,500 chocolate bars per month. So it's the most successful of the 3. And it also manufactures high quality cocoa butter and cocoa powder. Well, that's the end of our trip, and I'd just like to take this opportunity to list some of our goals for 2025, some of which we have already accomplished. The first goal is to install a cocoa butter press and cocoa grater in the Ndusi facility, and those machines are en route from China and will arrive any day now. The second goal, and we hope to have that installed and functioning by the end of 2024. Our second goal is to hire 3 employees. We've accomplished that goal already. We have a sales manager, Jean-Joël. We have a production manager, Jérôme, who's going to be working any day now. And we have a third employee is Jacques, who came with me on this trip and whom I meet with once a week here in Côte. The third goal for 2025 is to double production and sales for all 3 villages. The fourth goal is to develop a fermentation and drying facility, hopefully by the end of 2025. And then our fifth goal is to develop quality beans through using that fermentation and drying facility for international sales. Well, Jacques and I had a very good trip, and we came back on Sunday, October 6th, and we're back at home on Monday. And thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you for your interest in what we're trying to accomplish, which is to make cocoa growers chocolate producers and thereby increase their standard of living. Thank you.